Something about this iPhone Fold doesn't sit right. Not because it looks bad, but because it looks wrong. At first glance, this isn't the foldable anyone expected Apple to make. It doesn't chase the tall, narrow shape we've gotten used to. It doesn't try to outdo Samsung at Samsung's own game. And that's the first clue Apple is playing a different hand. Now, before this goes any further, let's ground this. These aren't random renders, they're CAD-based leaks from established European tech outlets with a solid track record. These files usually come from suppliers. They're used for case tooling and internal testing. So this isn't fan fiction. It's early hardware logic leaking out, and the numbers quietly give it away. When folded, the iPhone Fold is shorter and wider than almost every foldable out there. Compared to Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold, it's roughly a quarter shorter, but noticeably wider. Compared to Google's old Passport-style design, it's still wider, yet more compact. Even next to a regular iPhone, folded height drops by about 20%. At first, this feels wrong. A wide, short phone goes against everything we've been trained to expect. But this is where most people miss the point. This shape isn't about standing out, it's about control. Apple doesn't want the folded phone to feel like a skinny remote. They want it to feel stable in one hand. A wider body spreads weight better. It lowers the center of gravity, and that makes a foldable feel less fragile in daily use. Open it up, and the logic gets clearer. The inner screen lands closer to a balanced tablet shape, not a stretched rectangle, but something that actually works for reading, typing, and split apps without awkward gaps. This is a quiet rejection of the industry rule that foldables must be tall when closed. Samsung chased pocket height. Others followed. Apple stepped back and asked a simpler question. What shape do people actually use? That question changes everything. A shorter folded phone means fewer reach issues. Less thumb strain, more comfortable typing without shifting your grip. It also allows a stronger hinge design because stress spreads across width instead of height. That's the hidden advantage. This design isn't flashy, it's mechanically smarter. But there's a catch. Foldables are hard to make, wide displays are harder to keep flat, hinges at this size demand tighter tolerances. Reports already point to yield issues and slow production ramps, which likely explains why this device keeps slipping forward on the calendar. Apple knows one bad foldable launch would do real damage, so they're moving carefully, maybe too carefully, because while Apple waits, competitors aren't standing still. Samsung is already testing wider folds. Chinese brands are pushing thinner hinges at a faster pace. By the time Apple ships, the gap may not feel as dramatic as it does right now. Still, this first look tells us something important. Apple isn't late because they're lost. They're late because they're rewriting the shape itself. And if this works, other foldables instantly feel dated. Too tall, too narrow, designed for specs, not hands. And if you want to see how Samsung might respond to this shift, there's a breakdown on the channel that connects directly to what Apple just set in motion. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with all the latest tech news.